Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about slow community analysis. There are slow communities out there, even though for a lot of you that is crazy to even think about, but they are out there. So this video will help you analyze those as well as just troubleshoot anything else that you might need to troubleshoot within analytics. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to know, or we need to know rather, is the 5 P's of marketing. And what this is just a framework for troubleshooting. So the first P we have is promotion. Then we have product. We have people. We have price. And then we have place. Okay, as you can imagine, we are going to be focusing on promotion because product, we really can't change too much. That's essentially, can we make small adjustments to the product to provide more value without changing the price? Okay, and then we have people. Are the right salespeople at this community? Like if it's a struggling community and it's a very, very hard product to sell, do you have someone who's new to selling at that community? We're not going to answer that one. All right, price. Okay, that is something to think about, keep in mind. That's not the topic of this discussion right now. And then place. We're not moving the community, but this is just, these other 4 are just things to be aware of. And all of these will influence your marketing drastically. They're essentially going to determine how much promotion you need to have to overcome any issues in here. Can you spend your way out of these problems is what we're looking for. Okay, so now that we have this framework for analysis, what we want to do next is determine our historical conversion rates. And as you know, the cool kids write CVR because that's a lot easier to spell than conversion rates. So what we need to find out is our traffic to lead conversion rate, our lead to appointment, and guess what's next? Yeah, that's right. I heard you. I really didn't. Appointment to sales conversion rate. So we need to determine all of these conversion rates and then take our current sales. So let's say we had 3 sales the past 30 days and we should have had 9. Ooh, so we got 3 out of 9. Okay. We'll reverse this numbers, the numbers in here, reverse engineer it to determine how much traffic we need or promotion to get to 9 out of 9. And is that even possible? Sometimes it's not possible. You'll be like, oh my, we need to spend $23,000 to fix this. And then you kind of know like, hey, it's not promotion, isn't the big thing that's going to fix this community. It's one of these other things. But because you have the data, you can actually have those conversations with management, with your manager, whoever it may be, about like, hey, I did the math based on the past 30 days. Here is our situation. Present it to them in a nice clean format. And then there you go, you could get it going. Okay, but let's say you can use traffic to fix this. Like you're currently at only 1,000 pieces of traffic past 30 days for this community, and you're able to get this to 3,000. How do you determine where you're going to spend the $2,000? So what you need to do is jump into analytics. You need to pull up the community underneath the all pages section, underneath behavior. You should be familiar with this. If not, I don't know, there should be something on the site, or we actually talked about this on a podcast. One of the earlier episodes, we talked about it for 30 minutes on how to pull this up. But what you want to look for is you need to see where the traffic is coming from. But the ones we can influence now quickest, like today, if you saw this video today and you had an hour to fix this, you could influence Facebook and then Google Ads, okay? So depending on how you're currently set up, Facebook ads might need 50% of the budget, Google ads might need the other 50%. But if you're maxed out, the big thing to keep in mind is if you're maxed out on Google, you can't force any spend there. So if you're already spending, let's say this community is in, let's do where I live. I'm in Seminole, Florida. And all of our Seminole keywords are where we're maxed out. The bids are as high as they need to be. Our budgets, they're not being limited by budget. So Google is not going to be a choice. I really can only go to Facebook. Okay. And Facebook will have a lower cost per click, but depending on the community, depending on the environment, your market, all those things, they could be a little bit slower as far as the time frame. You know, there's time in all this from traffic to sale. versus Google. Someone's typing in new homes for sale in Seminole, Florida. They see the ad, they're looking in that moment. So the market right now, everything's crazy, so demand. So Facebook does work extremely well. It works even before this market. But if your Facebook ads are not set up correctly, you might not get as much out of them as that you should. Okay, so determine the split on here between Facebook and Google. My preference would be you need to max out Google first and then go over to Facebook. But if Google's already maxed out, then you really only have Facebook as your only choice. Okay, and then the fourth one to keep in mind, and this is really just a tip, is, I'll write the word condense. Did I spell it right? I don't know. Condense. Okay, it's better to condense this spend, this 2K, in a shorter time period, because what that will do is that will very quickly, you'll have this nice, here's your traffic on your site, and you want to see this. Okay, you want to see this for the community. If you were to spread out that $2,000 over, say, 6 weeks versus 3 weeks, it would be like that, right? Rather like that, a step, versus this nice big step, okay? So this might not be felt anywhere, versus this is like, oh, we got like 5 calls yesterday, versus, oh, we got 1 more call. It's really, the impact won't be felt, and this will more quickly fix the issue. So you might think there's more risk in actually, let me erase this so there's better pictures. Okay, so here's option 1 will be like this, and option 2 is like this. But there's 2 weeks. You might think there's less risk spending this $2,000 over time, but what if you don't fix it, say even here or here? Okay, it's better to quickly move on and figure out something else, move on to these other items here to address, versus waiting, say, 8 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever time period that you felt was a little bit more comfortable. Because if you fix this quicker, that's better. You get to 9 sales, 6 sales, whatever it is, in a quicker time period. Okay? Hopefully this is helpful for you. If there's any questions, let me know. Thanks.